We are live. Hello, we are here. Video influencers, Sean here.
Benji here.
And Video Influencers is all about helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And today we're talking about 3 trends that you really need to be paying attention to in online video, plus strategies of how to apply them. But Benji, talk a little bit about what Video Influencers is and where we've come from.
Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with who Sean and I are, we're YouTubers. We've been friends for about 8 years, and we've been working together to build not only my wife's social media channel, It's Judy Time, It's Judy's Life. You guys know me as a daily vlogger. Sean has been working as a social media video specialist for years, and we came together and we thought, you know what? We want to create a channel where we teach you how to not only become a YouTuber, but a video influencer, because we all know that social media is a way to go, whether you're starting a business, whether you want to build your influence. And outside of just being a YouTuber, there's so many things that you need to learn. So that's what we're here to do today, talking about 3 trends, some hacks. This is something Sean and I have been wanting to do for you guys for a very long time. So welcome to Video Influencers, and make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. But let's get this started, Sean.
Yes, and so here's the thing. If you're watching this, you're on the YouTube page, and so you can leave comments below. You can hit like on this post, or if you're watching it on the replay, do the same and post questions, because we're going to do some Q&A. We'll be able to see those on the YouTube page. And so if you have any questions during this or about anything at all after we go through these 3 trends and strategies, jump into Q&A, and we will do those as well on the replay. Share it out, spread the word. We're so happy you're here, and we are pumped to get into the content today. So we're talking about 3 video trends and 3 kind of growth hacking strategies so you can grow your influence online. And the first one is really live video. And what we mean by that is Facebook Live. YouTube Live is really coming as a major force and investing a lot. And Benji's actually had his ear to the ground with a lot of what's happening from the YouTube perspective. So Benji, what's happening with live video? And we'll get into some strategies too.
Well, let's just take it back a second. Why live is so important? The reason I think live is important, number one, it's the best way to keep an audience attention. And Sean, maybe we'll have people comment below on the connection and everything, and you can check it out on the YouTube view page. But live is so important because people love watching live stuff, right? Like live TV, live events. So you as an influencer who have been creating videos for years, you have an opportunity to literally connect live with your audience, and they love it. Engagement is way up because when you ask a question, people love the fact that you might actually see their answer or their comment. So live is so important for the attention and the engagement. And you know what? When it comes down to it, all the platforms are thinking about that. How do we keep them on our platform for longer? How do we get them more engaged? Because those are the 2 most important things with almost every platform. Second reason is this. These platforms want you to use their live applications, okay? Why this is so important, if you're doing what the platform wants you to do, as well as what your audience wants you to do and wants to watch, then you're gonna be kind of hacking the system. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So live is so important. Now going to YouTube, they're coming out with a live stream app, a mobile app, which is huge. It's actually partly why Google Hangouts is going to be gone, because they really want to push this. With the success of Facebook Live, I'm sure YouTube is we want to get in this. This is priority number 1. Okay, I can tell you that from different sources, but YouTube Live is going to be the most important thing. So just like you did on Facebook, on all these platforms, using YouTube Live, the mobile app is going to be so important.
Yeah, so 2 things we want you to be thinking about right now and really focusing. What is your live strategy? How can you use live better or start using it if you aren't? And to go to Facebook Live just for a second, we would encourage you that Facebook Live is something you should be paying a lot of attention to. Even if YouTube is your main focus, for us, YouTube is our home base, but we are paying a ton of attention to Facebook Live. Here's why. Number 1, it's where the reach is right now. Stats say that users comment 10 more times on live videos than they do on regular videos. Let us know in the comments if you've ever done a live stream and you've noticed that the amount of kind of likes and comments and engagement you get on a live post isn't just 10% more than a regular post. It's like 5,000% more than a regular post. It's absolutely exploding. Facebook just paid $50 million to media companies and celebrities to actually start producing like higher end live content on that platform. There's a lot of cool cameras. Benji just got a Mevo camera, which is lets you do some really cool, like higher produced widescreen quality live broadcasts. So it's where things are right now. And if we do take a step back, we got to remember that you're trying to reach people with your message, you know, build your influence. You're trying to get in front of more people. Live is the shortcut right now. Still of course takes work, but you got to pay attention to where attention is. As he mentioned, you know, it's definitely a chance to connect with people more intimately. So one thing we love is even like we're live right now in our videos, we're hanging out 4 minutes. It's kind of polished. You know, we have an interview, but live, we have a chance to interact, to do Q&A, to engage. So you can go deeper with your audience on live. And the last thing is we've been experimenting. Benji's been doing some cooking shows on his Facebook page, and you can talk about those. I'm doing a weekly live show on facebook.com/Sean Thanks. And then we're doing stuff on video influencers. So are you paying attention to Facebook Live right now? You need to be. And then really learning some of the tips and strategies to get results during live streams.
Yeah, and I'll take it over from there. This is the thing. We can say all this about live and talk about like how Facebook and YouTube is prioritizing it, but just go back to your Facebook experience. How many of you, and please comment below if this is correct, are going to your Facebook feed, going to your wall, and you're seeing live broadcasts, like front and center, top of the feed, constantly, consistently, right? There's people that are acquaintances of mine, like people that I friended years ago that are just using live like every single day, and they show up on my feed. That is a great example of how important it is to use live, because Facebook at least is really prioritizing people using live. And if you just observe that, I think one of the things that I love about this, about Gary Vaynerchuk, is he observes people. I don't just observe people, I'm observing my own stuff, like social media, like what is happening. And what I'm seeing more than anything is live content being front and center, being prioritized. If you know that, this is a chance for you to maybe reconnect with an audience that maybe was disconnected from you. Example, my friend who I met years ago, now I know what he's doing every single day. Like I'm following, I don't even really want to, but because live is working so well for him and Facebook is prioritizing it, it's getting in front of people.
Absolutely. So number one is pay attention to live. And if you're just joining us, thanks for being here. If you're watching on the replay, thanks for being here. Can you hit the like button on YouTube and then share this with maybe somebody that wants to be growing their influence with online video? The second tip that we have, and also post your questions below or any feedback you have, and we're going to do Q&A at the end. We've got 3 strategies. The first one is focusing on live video. It's coming on YouTube in a major way. It's already here on Facebook. And number 2 is to utilize video on every social media platform. And we're going to talk from the perspective of, again, for us, and we know like if you're really watching video influencers, we're so thankful you're part of this community. We know that YouTube is a big deal for you. So we use all the social media platforms a lot of times to drive traffic and awareness to our YouTube channel. And so we want to talk about a couple different ones of those. And the first one is Twitter video. Go ahead, Benji.
Yeah, Twitter video. Now, Sean, I hope you don't mind. I take this, what you talked about yesterday, about 140 characters. 140 characters is like the limit of how much space you have on Twitter. And that's what I call the real estate of the Twitter feed, whether on your phone or on the computer. Video, pictures, blows that out of the water. So if it was just for that alone, it's worth using video, okay? Because you're taking up more of that feed space and you're being more noticed. In fact, I've seen my engagement on my Twitter go way up ever since I not only started posting videos, but even pictures, because they just look better on the feed. But why video is so important? Just like Facebook, Twitter wants to push that video. It's because it keeps people's attention. That's why Periscope is so popular, because whatever keeps your attention for longer is what the platform wants. And typically, Twitter has been like the water cooler of the social media world. What I mean by that is that's where people go to come together and they talk. And it's real quick sometimes. Sometimes they start a conversation, but that's what it was. And that's the beauty of Twitter. However, with video becoming so popular, Twitter has integrated video into their platform. It's actually pretty beautiful. It's really easy to use. So I use Twitter video all the time. And I know Sean even used it to respond to people, which is another great way to connect in a much bigger way, utilizing video on all platforms.
Yeah, so we want to give you guys some nitty gritty stuff that you can use. So Twitter is not dead. Twitter is still a super relevant platform, and it's a great way to spread awareness and connect with people. And if you actually didn't know, when we talk about video on Twitter, we're talking about uploading videos like to Twitter, not just like sharing a link to YouTube, but uploading videos directly there. One thing that you can do is you can record from your phone, and we just looked it up. You can record up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds or post videos that are that long. If they're under 500 megabytes. So that's a big deal. Like Benji said, 144 characters of text is just a tiny little, bit, but you could show up for 2 minutes and 20 seconds in somebody's Twitter feed and share something cool, connect with them. And so one thing to do after this broadcast is mess around on your phone and go in and look that you can actually just record videos straight to Twitter inside of the app. But the second thing, and this is kind of strategic, and I'll show you right here, I really encourage everybody to pin a video to the top of your feed. And so this is what it kind of looks like. Like this video is natively on Twitter. And what you could do is you could do a pinned tweet. So think about this. When they land on your Twitter page, they can get an impression of what's happening with you. And on mobile, you can see this too. But then the first thing they see is much more dynamic. They see movement, they see life, they see what's happening. And then you could still have a link, to that later. So that's something to check out. You can see how that's set up on my Twitter at Sean Cannell. But Twitter video is a huge thing. And as we're talking about number 2, video on all social media platforms, this is the thing. This is video influencers. We're talking about like video is taking over, right? All the social media platforms, and video on Twitter is a huge tool that you can be using to drive awareness, to build a stronger brand, and here's kind of a practical tip. You could have like an about video or like a quick trailer of who you are or what you're doing pinned to your Twitter. For a while when we released our VidCon talk, that was there, and it's super dynamic. It's got kind of a cool video, but it's pinned to the top. So when someone new meets you, they can almost be introduced to you with a video stuck right to the top of your Twitter.
Exactly. And one of the reasons why I love video, this is why we've been doing this for 7-8 years, is especially on YouTube, it's archived, right? So it's like in regular life, you would have to do all the work over and over and over. But with a video, it kind of duplicates your efforts, right? So like Sean said, you don't have to reintroduce yourself to the digital world if you have a video there. That's what I love about video in general. We'll move on to Facebook video. Still huge, still very relevant, just as much, if not even more so, just because there's so much more competition with all these other platforms like Instagram and Twitter, including video. Facebook's video, when they prioritize that, I'd say like 2 years ago, like it blew up, and it's still huge. Now, of course, we talked about how Facebook Live is being prioritized, I think even more higher than video, but video is still the way to go. To put it simply, if you had to pick between a video and a text post and you want to optimize to reach more people, always, always, always video. Not only does it look cleaner and it just like connects better, but Facebook wants people to upload more videos. That's the one thing that Facebook, I'm going out on a limb here, but that's the one thing that Facebook doesn't have that YouTube has, and they're like the masters of. It's the place you go for video, right? It's the place you go to connect with people, even as an audience watching other people's content. And Facebook wants that because, again, going back to how simple this is, it just keeps people's attention for much longer. Now, Sean's going to go into some like best practices of Facebook video specifically, but video, period. That's all I got to say.
Yep. And so a couple reminders, right? Facebook, doesn't want you to link away from the platform. So if you post a link to your YouTube videos on Facebook, there's almost no reach at all. And so what we're talking about here is different than going live, is actually uploading videos directly to your Facebook page. So, right. So this is an example where this video is uploaded to, this is our, channel trailer. And what we did was we actually made a Facebook version. So we made it a little bit different. And so what we'll do is not necessarily create completely original content, although we'll sometimes do that, but we'll always make it as native as possible to Facebook. So an example is, you've probably noticed this too, is that we've got, of course, full-length interviews on our YouTube channel. We'll take a snippet of those interviews and make it a native video post on Facebook. And these do extremely well. They get the reach. And again, we're not linking out to YouTube, but we're adding value right here because that's what Facebook rewards. What's the ideal video length on Facebook? The ideal video length is actually as short as possible, but usually around 30 to 90 seconds. Not a lot of people are going to Facebook to watch a 30-minute, a 1 hour, talk. So it's like micro content, but you could do those types of things to also spread awareness of what you're creating on YouTube and what kind of videos you're creating on YouTube. So really using native videos on your Facebook fan page can growth hack all of your social media, spread awareness, but it can also grow your YouTube channel.
Absolutely. And I'll just add something to that. It's a little bit different though with live, because the longer I stay on live, the better the reach is of my Facebook live post, which is a little bit different than video. There's something about the live that people love and that Facebook is prioritizing. So like, I totally agree with Sean, like the content that goes on YouTube versus the content that goes on Facebook in video form is gonna be slightly different, a shorter attention span, but live, man, you could go for an hour. And Facebook loves that. And it's like the balance between doing what you want and doing what your audience wants, as well as like catering to like some of the priorities of Facebook and understanding that. I think that's one of the big things we want to talk about today. But the next thing is Instagram. So we're talking about using video on all platforms and why it's so important to utilize it. Instagram, it's not anything new. They've come out with video for a long time. They're really extending how much longer you can record. What I love about Instagram is like they're making it much easier to put video content on there, whether like it's video from your phone or you're recording in real time, right? Kind of like the Twitter video, you can actually make like a storyline and everything like that. So like, again, video is so important. And we're going to bring up something that maybe some of you don't even know. There is an algorithm to Instagram. What that means is it's no longer an organic wall. It's no longer an organic feed where when people post, it goes directly on your wall. Now, Instagram is determining what is the most interesting based on what you're watching, or they're trying to assume or guess what you want to see. Have you noticed that people's like posts, like some of them can be like 20 minutes ago, and then the next one would be 5 hours ago, and the next one would be like, 3 minutes ago? They're mixing it up because they want to keep your attention, and that's part of an algorithm implementation. And Sean, did you want to get into that and about like Instagram video?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's so important to notice is, again, if a platform wants a certain type of content and will reward that type of content, then you should post that there. And so because you might be disappearing in the Instagram algorithm, if you post, it's always, of course, content is king. You want to put quality content out, but video is still something it rewards. And we're not talking about Instagram stories. We're talking about video on Instagram. So for example, and here's like a practical, we want to give you really tactical things. You could upload a video. Now your limit here is 60 seconds. And then you could, tease. Sometimes I like to go shorter than 60 seconds. I realize people maybe have 15 or 20. Tease a video that's potentially out on your YouTube channel. And then you can always say this, and I'm sure a ton of you are already doing this. You could say link in my bio, and you always have the chance to give that call to action to go click on the link and then go watch your latest YouTube video or anything else that you want to promote. But again, the key is that quality video, and you can give, just like Benji said, you could record a video and say, hey guys, this is happening. But here's the thing, you've already created YouTube content. You can, and here's our workflow, upload it to Dropbox, use the Dropbox app, and then download that video to your phone, and then post that video to your your Instagram account. And the last thing is, sometimes it can be overwhelming to think about doing all these platforms. But if you think about it ahead of time, you can think about it like this. Okay, I'm going to edit a YouTube video. What is a little 30-second snippet that I could then also export separately? And I'll throw that natively on Facebook. I could put that on Twitter and pin it to my profile for the week. I could upload that to Instagram. And what you're doing, again, is it's not this idea of always trying to go to Facebook and post a link to YouTube. You're showing up in a native way. It's like in a way that looks right for the platform, that is optimized correctly, and then driving traffic and growth hacking, driving awareness to your other content. In this case, we want to grow our YouTube channel.
Boom. You guys, by the way, I just want to throw out there as an example. Sean, can you hear me clearly?
Yep.
Okay, so we're talking about how live is so important, how live is getting, so much engagement, and it's capturing your attention. So, like I'm looking at the YouTube view page of this live broadcast right now, and we've already got 80 comments. So thank you so much, first off, to everybody that's commented. Let us know where you're from. I'm actually vibing with some of you guys on the comments area as we're talking. But it's a great example of like how engagement is so high. You guys, the reason you're commenting isn't just that you appreciate this content, or maybe you've already followed us on Video Influencers, but you know that there's a higher chance of us actually reading your comments. If you actually go in there, both Sean and I have been replying to some of your guys' comments. Now, when it comes to just a regular YouTube video, we don't get this kind of engagement this quickly. We're talking like, Sean, we've been on for like, 25 minutes, and this is amazing, right? Again, like not just telling you, but showing you guys. And I'm sure if you guys do this as well, like on your platforms, and you try out live, you're gonna see similar types of things happening for yourself.
Absolutely. And so we've done 2 points so far. If you're just joining us, thanks so much for being here. Share this with somebody that wants to grow their influence with video. If you're watching on the replay, thanks for being here. And post your questions below. We have one more point. We're talking about 3 trends and then strategies of really how to implement these. And then we'll do some Q&A for a while. So thanks so much for being here. Number 3, Benji.
YouTube. This isn't really a trend as much as it is like a reminder. YouTube is not going away. So a lot of people are questioning, and like even YouTubers sometimes, like, should I keep uploading to YouTube, right? Like, like YouTube isn't working as much for me, or like these other platforms, I get so many more views. Well, I'm telling you from not just 8 years of experience, and yes, I do love YouTuber. I am a YouTuber. But even with the success I've had on other platforms, including Facebook, where yes, our views on Facebook equal what we're doing on YouTube. The point is, YouTube is still the master when it comes to archiving videos and searchability. That is so important, because the essence of a YouTuber is that people can search for a specific term, something they're interested in, something they need to learn, and potentially get to your video. There isn't any other platform that does that so well.
Yeah, and to really make it the number 3 point really practically is YouTube is not going away. It's just getting stronger. And here's the reason why we say this is we want to ask yourself this question. What is the lifespan of a Snapchat post? 24 hours, right? What's the lifespan of a tweet? A few minutes. Even Twitter has a little bit of an algorithm going on while you were gone, but still it's not very long. What is the lifespan of a Facebook post? Not very long. Like after a while, it goes away and people don't discover that old stuff. Benji said it. YouTube is a search engine. And so when we talk about YouTube and it not going away, is we still believe 100% that it has the highest ROI. That means return on investment. That it has, when you put your time in, it's hard to make a YouTube video. We can relate. We know that like you go through frustrations with software and setting up your lighting, and the mic wasn't turned on, and planning your video and making it nice and all that stuff. Making a YouTube video is a challenge, but when you put it out there, if it can rank in search, when you realize it's a search engine, when you realize when new people discover you, they can go through your old videos in playlists in a lot better ways, that YouTube, out of all the platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram stories, whatever, that YouTube is still, it has search power. It has discoverability power. And we looked at it really practically. When we looked at that, we haven't actually been able to get together. Benji lives in Seattle. I live in Las Vegas, and we're together a ton of times during the years, but we actually haven't been able to get together and do a video together as we usually do on Video Influencers in 52 days. Yet the growth of our channel has actually continued to go up over the last 52 days. There's a reason for that. And the reason is we've built such a library. I mean, it was the upfront work. It just accidentally happened. We put in so much work and hustle to build a library of ranked videos so that even if we can't post videos or the season gets busy or something's happening, we are still showing up and we're like, hey guys, and maybe that's how you found us. You typed in a search term, you found us, and then you were there. That's what we want to tell you and say, as far as trends, what are you paying attention to? What are you working on? Where are you putting your hustle? That YouTube is still the place we believe where you can build the highest value. It's like almost like real estate. It has the best investment potential. That is, you invest in the platform, it has the best returns if you do the work and you build a library of your videos that show up in search.
Boom. Yes, I love this term, evergreen. And I can tell you it works because my wife and I, we've been doing YouTube since I want to say 2008. And there's still videos that we recorded years ago that are still benefiting us today. I mean, number one, especially at our subscriber level, our Google AdSense is forever just flowing in, not just because of the videos that we uploaded in the last few months, but the last few years. Now, even more importantly is the new subscribers we get. You know, people are always constantly searching on YouTube. You know, it is the #1 search engine for not just video, but in general. It's second for in general search, right? So people are constantly finding us on YouTube somehow. And I think that's like one of the most important things that you have to remember is like that YouTube is a search engine. These other platforms, they're social media platforms. They're like where you go to vibe with people, to connect with people, but you're not really always searching. Like it's not like a general practice that happens as much as it does on YouTube as well as Google. And one other tip I'll put about YouTube videos, of course, the #1 search engine still to this day is Google. And if you can get on Google search's radar, which is what Google wants, they want their videos to be seen. When people search, okay, this is like kind of going off the topic, but think about this. When you type in something onto a Google search, how many times have you seen a YouTube video pop up? And if Google is still the #1 search engine, you want to make sure you're optimizing, which in this case is uploading to YouTube, to get in front of that search.
Yep, absolutely. So our one practical strategy here, and it kind of comes back, sometimes the basics, you know, sometimes common sense isn't common practice. And so we really want to bring you to the baseline that if you're watching this broadcast, we care about you. We know you're part of this community. Like this is our tribe, right? We care about building our influence, our income, and our impact with online video. And so hear us. You definitely need to be posting to YouTube weekly. Weekly is the minimum. And I encourage you that YouTube, you should have a kind of like, think of it as a weekly show. Like I might do other videos. Sometimes I might do bonus stuff. I might do some other things, but weekly is going to be our baseline of videos. We're going to be totally honest. This last week was for Video Influencers. We had just some technical difficulties. Some different people are traveling. Some things are happening. And so we jumped on to do a Google Hangout so we could get a video out this week because we're saying no matter what, if you go back to our history, we have gone, if it was a tough season, if it was challenging, if we had other things happening, we're like, we have to get a video out weekly. And we've done that. And so can you commit? Like we want to challenge you. Can you commit to say, I'm going to do a weekly show. I'm going to commit to building on YouTube. And I want to show you something. It's kind of a cool site called VidStatX. And so here's just like looking. I typed in our channel. You can look at your channel. We typed in Video Influencers. And so what's cool here is we can look at how many subscribers are like people subscribe per hour. We can look at how many people are subscribing daily. And maybe if we release a new interview or we do something, we might get a spike. But there's about 150 to 200 subscribers that come in daily. And here's the theory. This is the thesis. That isn't something that, oh, just accidentally happened. We put in fact, let me go back. We put in 144 videos, is 144 uploads. And that those became, I sometimes call ranked videos, they're like employees that you only pay once. You got to pay them with your time and your hustle, and you're tired. You don't feel like shooting today. But once you get those videos out, they work for you, even when you're not working, when you optimize them right, video SEO. And so we just really want to encourage you and remind you that YouTube, again, if you get distracted by all this other social media, we just share all these tips. But if you do some Snapchats and so on and so forth, you got to stay on the hamster wheel. You got to keep posting every day. Like if you're doing Facebook, you can't not show up. Like you have to keep showing up there. Cool thing about YouTube is if you hit a season, even when you can't post, but you've built a library of ranked videos, then it could continue to build your brand, build your influence, build your income, build your impact on autopilot because of the power of the platform. We're going to get to Q&A in just a second. If you're just joining us, hit the thumbs up if you've appreciated this broadcast. Leave us a comment of what you thought. Can you give us, if you know, what was your biggest takeaway, and what are you going to commit to? We want to hear from you. There's something powerful about typing it. I'm going to commit to starting to post native Facebook videos. I'm going to commit to doing a weekly Facebook Live. We don't want to just kind of hang out and give you information. We want real transformation and like power to come to your platforms, to what you're doing, to your community. And so make a commitment. It's Saturday. What can you commit to? Can you do a weekly show? Put that out there in the comments, and we're going to get to Q&A in just a second. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, and if you guys know of somebody that would benefit from this broadcast right now, retweet this and retweet a user handle and let people know that we're on. We're about to talk about a few hacks too. You know, like we're going to get into Q&A, and we're going to include some of the hacks because, you know, it's always changing, right? Social media is always changing. YouTube is always changing. So we're going to be talking about the things that we use to optimize. That's what I love about what Sean and I do here on Video Influencers. We don't like keep things away from you. Like we try to put it out as it's happening to us. You know, we want to make sure that it's accurate, that it's actually working not just for us, but for other people. And we're putting it out there. So please retweet, use their handle, and let them know we're on live. And, you know, this is the thing. We just love what we're doing. I think it's actually kind of ironic, Sean, that we're actually doing a Google Hangout versus having a video upload, because you know what? At the end of the day, I know that you guys probably appreciate this way more than a regular video. We've already seen it with our engagement. I've been getting a lot of great questions, right? And you guys, literally, this is like 30-minute videos. We never have 30-minute videos, and you guys are staying on. Right now, we have about 135 of you watching, and that's been very consistent. It's only been going up for most of this broadcast. So thank you so much for being on. And yeah, let's get right into Q&A and some of the hacks.
Awesome. So I want to just kind of applaud a few people. We really want you, like, there's something powerful, like about like setting a goal. Type your goal in the comments, type what you're committing to. And a couple people have typed in here. I just want to say hello. This is awesome. Mr. Poophead, how's it going? Commits to doing a weekly show. Awesome. Snitch and Travel says, I'm committing to vlog at least once a week and put one video up a week. Awesome. Derek's committing to posting content on different platforms, Facebook, YouTube. Go, Derek. And we will jump into this question here from Harshel1. How do I get my videos suggested more on the sidebar of other YouTube channels? I'll tackle this because I just shared this in a Facebook Live recently. A couple ways that you're going to do that is, number one, you want your tags to really let YouTube know what your video is about. In fact, your title, your tags, and your description, you want them to know what YouTube is about. So I use this example of Pokemon Go. If you would have jumped on the trend of Pokemon Go right when it came out, a lot of people put out some good videos about that. And maybe they have big influence. Maybe they're Casey Neistat and they're going to get a couple million views. If you jump on that trend and you put out a topic that's also based on it, a little bit like Pokemon Go, and you're one of the first people to do it, and your tags let YouTube know that this is related content to that. And then when you put out your video and you hustle like crazy to get as much engagement, as many comments, likes, and engagement on that video, then that is essentially what they'll recommend. They'd say, somebody watched this popular video about Pokemon Go. They might also like this video about strategies and tips for how to do Pokemon Go better, or whatever it is. And so it definitely has to do with the signals and tags that tell Google what what your video is about, and then hustling to get engagement so that they want to put you over there, including your watch time. Just like how much like it comes back to really putting out quality content based around a specific topic.
Boom. So, Sean, while you read the comments and look for our next question, I'm going to talk about a hack that's happening right now that I think everybody should take advantage of. I'm even learning to take advantage of it. It's this Instagram story thing that's happening. Basically, a recreation of Snapchat on Instagram. Number one, why you should do it is because it's showing up on your feed. I see Sean all day. What's funny is he probably only uploads to Instagram maybe once a day. I don't even know if you do that, Sean, but you show up on the story part. Everybody knows that top bar where the people's little profile pictures show up as a circle. That is so powerful. Like going back to what I said earlier about real estate. On a mobile phone, you only get so much room. I wish I could show you guys exactly what I mean. I'm gonna actually turn this on, get onto my Instagram, okay, and show you what I mean, okay? So like, look, this is Candy Johnson. She just put up a picture. She gets all that space, but look up top. I don't know, Sean, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
That space is powerful. So I just put up something. Austin just put up something. Sean Cannell. This is what's so interesting about this story area, okay? And then as you scroll down, it goes to other stuff, right? That's always there. And there's not a lot of people using it. In fact, I follow, let's see here. I follow 234 people. I'd say like 10 to 15 people are actually using it and always showing up. That is really powerful because Instagram has gotten very crowded, competitive, if you can say that. And you don't always see people's posts, especially now with this algorithm change, except this is a hack that you can do. And I want Sean to kind of like comment on this because he's working it and showing up in front of an audience that maybe kind of forgot about you. Again, it's all about reconnecting by using these prioritized forms of media that these platforms want you to use.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've probably noticed, Instagram stories and Instagram, versus Snapchat, and Snapchat gonna die. We don't even really want to commentate on that. One of the things is look at it from a different perspective. It is a new way being promoted by a platform to get in front of people and to talk about your message, to share your content. And so it's kind of like, why not use any channel possible to get in front of people? Now, I think probably my biggest tip there too is that some people, they hedge and they apologize too much. They spend so much time being like, what's this thing? It's so much like Snapchat. And they may post like 10 posts about Instagram stories that doesn't lead to much. And I saw some people, the favorite people, I knew that they got it instantly. Like the day it came out, they almost didn't even quantify that it was happening. They went out with confidence and they were like, hey, what's up, guys? And they started to like do their thing. They started to use it in a strategic way. And what's cool is you can go into your stories and start seeing that people are seeing, how many views you're getting on your Instagram stories. The reality is, regardless of Snapchat or Instagram stories, people are there, right? People are already following you. There's already a community, and it is attention. That's like the most valuable thing in a distracted world, in an ADD world. And so using the opportunity to jump onto the platform and add value right there to build your brand and create content based right around what it is that you're doing right there. And then also say, hey guys, like one of the things we did, we were like, hey guys, we're going live. It's this ability to go on Instagram and say, hey, Benji and I are about to do a live stream. And you have this quick way to put a message out to your community, to your audience. We got a question, Benji, and I think we could share some good tips here. Shill Shark says, how many videos should I make until I grow a lot bigger? And he's saying his goal is 50,000 subs.
Well, this is the thing. Consistency is more important than anything. So whether it's once a month, once a week. In fact, I was just talking to a YouTuber that does 2 a month, Sean. Mike Tompkins, actually, that's his goal, right? Totally different type of content. I think that's really important, like to be consistent more than anything. But if I'm suggesting to the general YouTuber, about like a certain cadence. Definitely at least once a week. Why it's important not only to be consistent, but to be consistent in a short amount of time, because you really want to connect with people, right? People are going on every day. This is the power of daily vloggers. I know because my wife has been doing it since 2011. We're getting in front of people every day. She does not let anything stop her from uploading that daily vlog, and that is so powerful. But even at once a week, it can be very powerful.
Yeah, and I might share something, and I mean I totally share this just like in full transparency to maybe anybody watching, to encourage you about the journey, to encourage you about the process, to encourage you about the hustle. I've heard it said, you know, like, how do you experience overnight success? And overnight success takes 10 years. That's just, you know, it's the moment that like there's kind of a breakthrough. So there's the moment where you cross 50,000 subscribers, but so much hustle and so much grind went into that. And so recently, and Benji's actually would coach me for years about, hey, post consistently on Think Media TV in my tech channel, or you need to post more videos and you do things like that. And I recently did cross that benchmark. But I just want to share something kind of practical here that, I mean, this YouTube channel started in August 23rd, 2010. So it's 6 years later now. In fact, almost to the date, we're in August. That's actually crazy. 3 days from now is the anniversary of starting Think Media TV. And only recently do I feel like I kind of got clarity and I hit my stride. Like only in the last even few months did I finally, all the education and all the learning and all the different things kind of came together. And so I think probably for everybody watching, just being encouraged to not only keep going and keep persevering, but to keep learning, like to keep experimenting, to keep learning, to keep investing in yourself, to keep investing in just your education. Of course, that's why you're watching video influencers. And we're so, you know, glad you're part of this community. And here's the encouraging thing about that too, is that Think Media TV went through a couple of different identity crises. It went like this way and kind of went that way. And then I abandoned it for a while. But recently I got super clear and I felt like I hit my own magic, like my own voice and my own, like what this really is. And so in answer to the question, I think that'll add value to everybody watching. You know, keep persevering, but keep working on leveling up your branding, your messaging, tapping into your own passion, and then just don't give up. But also, I mean, that's not very sexy these days, right? Like, hey, how quickly can you grow your YouTube channel? And some people spring up overnight, but a lot of people put in the hustle for years. And I hope that encourages you to, you know, not be discouraged.
Yeah, love it. And I love that Sean can share this story right now. And we're very passionate about actually doing YouTube right now. You know, 10 months ago, Sean was at a point where like he kind of had to do it, but he made the choice, like instead of like going another direction, he's like, I'm going to finally commit to this full time. It took him 10 months, but like he said, it could have probably taken him 10 years. And I think the next question I want to answer is a perfect segue to what Sean was talking about like going through a couple different identity crises on your channel. Jennifer Tomaso asks, I've thought about doing YouTube for years, but I have no clue what kind of videos I do. I'm not a makeup person, not a hair person. I don't do anything to be able to vlog. I don't have any special. I don't have anything special. I'm really good at so literally have nothing to make videos about. So I guess YouTube isn't for me. And I know that you might have been a little sarcastic, but actually a lot of people go through this. A lot of people want to be a YouTuber. They want to upload to YouTube. I think it's really important to figure out what it is you want to do with your life, right? And why I like YouTube though is so versatile. You don't just have to be a YouTuber. You can use YouTube as a marketing platform for your business. You can use YouTube as a way to connect with other people. When Judy first started back in 2008, it was an intimate community, right? She connected with other beauty people. She didn't even think of herself like a beauty guru or like a teacher. She was just able to like connect. So there's so many different ways to use YouTube. Now, I do believe, like Sean, if there's something that you're interested in, start uploading videos. Because what you're going to be doing, you're practicing, you're preparing, you're figuring out for the day 2015 for Sean, right? When you go all in, when this finally hits, A lot of people tell me, it's like, I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been doing this for 2 years, 3 years. It hasn't been working. Well, you know what? There isn't any set time. Sean and I would never, ever bet money on being able to tell you when this is going to happen. You just never know. In fact, the journey there is what's really important. You're going to learn not only so much about yourself, which, to answer your question, Jennifer, about what to put up, but also about how to work YouTube. You learn all the intricacies. You know, one thing that I always tell everybody is, like, for all the hacks I tell you about, all the trends, all the best practices, when you put in the hustle, you put in the work, you're going to figure out what works for you the best. That could be totally different from everybody else. So it's so important not only to know what you're going to put up, because that's probably what you're going to record the best, but you got to put in the hustle, even when it seems impossible. I've met so many YouTubers that were this close to quitting, but they're like, you know what? I don't want to quit. I want to keep going. They broke through, boom, superstars. Super successful, traveling the world, accomplishing their dreams. So it's so important to combine those two on, really asking yourself what it is I want to do in life, what it is I want to accomplish in my business, or how I want to use YouTube to be able to figure out what content to put out, but then put in the hustle, put in the grind. You got to work this and never quit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what Benji said too. He knows some that they put in the hustle and eventually they broke through and they kind of went into being like superstars, which is kind of like YouTubers, growing big. But there's another way to go too, just to kind of bring this practical for anybody watching, is when I went full time, and Benji's talking about that, I was able to go full time off my tech channel at 30,000 subscribers. And so that's not superstardom at all, right? Like, it's just like, that's a regular guy living with 2 chihuahuas and his wife in Las Vegas that was able to really monetize in a lot of different ways, not just AdSense. And we got a lot of content out about that, but there's so many different ways to go about it. So sometimes we talk about thinking differently. And if you're watching on the replay, we'll link up a talk we did about how to go full time with a small audience. We spoke at VidCon recently, so we'll post that in the description. And so definitely check that out for some real practical tips on that. Question, Benji, I'll kick this one to you. And I want to actually give a couple, if you're watching, thanks for being here. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And one of the things we're doing, if you're just joining us, is we're actually asking you to commit in the comments, because there's something powerful about typing it out. What is one of your goals, or what are you going to commit to? Are you going to commit to doing a weekly Facebook Live? Are you going to commit to saying, I'm going to go weekly on YouTube, no matter what happens, whether I have to drive 5 hours to get Wi-Fi, as some of our vlogging friends, will do to make sure the vlog goes live. I'm going to go. I'm going to do this. Type what you're committing to in the comments. If you have any questions for us, we'd love to get to those. And Noah asked, Benji, how can I find people to collab with?
Well, one of the best ways to find people to collab with is go where those people that you would probably collab with are hanging out. Now, in the digital world, that would be social media. Like, go to pages like specific to your kind of content, right? Like, that's really important to realize that, like, sometimes, especially if we're talking in the context of being a YouTuber, going outside of YouTube to find those people. Now, same thing. In YouTube, just simply do a search, right? Search the type of content you're putting out, search whatever it is, and figure out who's putting videos like you, And remember, it's not always just about collabing with people that put out the same type of content, but maybe have the same type of audience. For example, Judy and I, we have a huge family demographic, an audience that are parents, they're having kids, they just got married, right? And we think about, like, who else has an audience similar to that, but maybe isn't doing daily vlogs, maybe isn't doing beauty, or in my case, food, but like maybe doing some kind of other type of content where the audiences would have a similar interest. So social media is one, and searching YouTube, and just like reaching out to people.
Yeah, and I want to give you one practical tip for collabs, and that is actually the importance of your branding. And what I mean is the importance of what your YouTube channel looks like and what, let's say your Twitter looks like. Because think about it like this. If you tweet someone and say, hey, I'd like to collab, or I'd like to interview you, or I'd like to do something, and they click through to look at your presentation, if there's an egg sitting there, that's not a very good presentation, right? You want a good photo of your face or good branding. If they can't read your Twitter bio and know what you're about in one sentence with clarity, about what your channel is about, what your brand is about, then it's kind of confusing and they might not want to jump in and collab with you. And so one of the stories we tell is when we were starting video influencers, we were starting from scratch, and Benji definitely was able to connect with a few people because of friendships. But there was one person we connected with early on who's one of the biggest fitness celebrities in the world, Chalene Johnson, huge in Beachbody, has done all these programs, 1 million Facebook likes. And the way that we connected with her was just Twitter. We literally said, hey, would you be willing to do an interview? And I was able to then ask her later, and so much stuff has happened since then. But it really just came from having the courage to ask. But I would say this, she clicked through and looked at our stuff. And so when people click through and check out your stuff, even if we only had like 2 videos out, and she was like, I like your vibe, and I would love to just kind of help out, even though you guys are literally just starting out. And it led to all this other thing. So really working on your branding and then not being afraid to ask. Here's the cool thing is, even as video influencers, you've seen these weekly interviews now that we've been doing, and we've had the privilege of having a lot of people on our channel, but we also ask people, and they still say no. Sometimes the ratio might be asking 20 or 50 people to get one interview. And so sometimes I think people give up too early. They go for like 2 collabs, get discouraged, and give up. Don't give up. Someone asked in the comments, what do you mean when you say put in the hustle? The hustle means working really, 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 really hard. It means crashing through quitting points. It means putting in the extra. It means more than, I'm going to work 30 minutes this week on my channel. It means that if I have to, after I send the kids to bed and, kiss my wife to bed, I'm going to put in a few extra hours at night to work to build my influence. I'm going to find the time to put in the real work. Thomas Edison said that opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. Yeah. There's opportunity, but you got to put in the hustle. And that's what we mean, and do that. So just keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. Just don't get discouraged. They're not saying no. They probably didn't see it. They're so busy, they probably didn't even know it. So that's why that persistence and tenacity is really how you break through when it comes to getting collabs.
Love it. And, we're not just telling you to hustle or work hard for the sake of putting in hustle or working hard. We're saying it because we believe that YouTube, online videos, social media is like literally the best way to work anything you're doing, whether it's a personal passion and you want to grow an influence, whether it's a business and you want to market to get clients, or even just connecting with the community. Like, we have never ever seen anything as powerful as social media. And I'll even loop YouTube in there because it still is a community. And working hard, like at a job, don't get me wrong, if you're working a job, that's fine. I haven't worked a job in many, many years, but everybody has their own thing going on. But when it comes to working any kind of like business, or you want to build an influence, like social media is the way, right? Like video, especially because you're duplicating yourself. And that's why we are so confident in not only telling you these things, but to actually create a channel called Video Influencers. The last 8 years have been so amazing. Like, so much has happened to me. It's crazy. Outside of the amazing things that happened in general in my life, and YouTube, online video, social media has been the way we've accomplished it. I mean, like, Sean and I can literally talk for hours of things that him and I just did together, right? Outside of things we did individually because of social media, like the opportunities that we were able to see. And it wasn't just because my wife has 1 million subscribers, right? I mean, there's plenty of examples that we give in videos on Video Influencers. So for the last thing I want to just say is thank you so much. I know that you guys are tweeting this out. There's 154 people watching. That has been jumping up consistently since I asked you to retweet using other people's handles. Keep in mind, this video, again, this is why we love video, is going to continue living on our YouTube page. And we just appreciate that you guys are connecting with us and you guys value the things that we're sharing, because we're really passionate about helping you guys do the same thing that we did. Not in the same way necessarily, because there's so many ways. That's what another thing I love about YouTube. There's so many ways to do this. So if you guys appreciate this, give us a thumbs up. Again, keep retweeting this, tag people, comment below on what it was that you guys liked the most. And I can't wait to do this again, Sean.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just a couple things. Thank you so much for being here. We'll do more Q&A in the future, and I'll jump into the comments and we'll kind of share maybe a few videos that could specifically help you. Because that's one thing to note. A couple of just things. We have got a big library. Like if you're new to video influencers, we encourage you to go back through. Like video influencers is kind of like a college course on online video and YouTube, 144 videos. Some people have done that. They've tweeted us. They go, we watched all your videos twice, took notes. Now I've got clarity of what I'm going to do, and I'm launching my channel, or I'm doing this new strategy. And so practically, we'll link everything up below. One thing that is practical, if you've never got it before, we have a guide with 19 things to do every time you upload a YouTube video. Videoinfluencers.net/19 tips. And you can grab that for free. It's a checklist that will help you kind of get your videos ranking in search, tags, and just literally 19 things to do so that your videos get more views, your channel gets more subscribers, and your influence grows. We'll also link up that talk we did, how to go full-time on with a small audience, in the YouTube description below. And then even if you're watching on the replay, again, we want to hear from you. We'd love your feedback. Still post questions, because we could go back and we can, share some answers, some questions, the responses to you down there. If you appreciated this broadcast, definitely share it with somebody. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it so much. And, video influencers, we're helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. Benji, closing words.
Guys, this is the time to do it, okay? These hacks, these trends we're telling you about, like right now is the time to capture people's attention. This thing I showed you about Instagram story, I don't know how long it's gonna last. We don't even know if Instagram's gonna keep it. So right now is the time. It's not cliche, it is for reals. Like you guys wanna get in right now. For the 150 of you guys watching, for anybody that follows us, that's why we're doing this right now. Like Sean and I know that there's a tsunami of opportunity coming. So please take action. The people that have committed to something in the comments, go for it.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Have an incredible, incredible day, and make sure you're subscribed here. We have new videos coming your way, new interviews coming your way soon. And so we appreciate you, and we will see you later.
Peace.
Later.